Hello and welcome to another episode of the Freedom Raver podcast. I am here with an amazing creative named Courtney. How are you doing?
Good, thank you, babe.
Or Cozza Media.
Cozza, yeah.
what came up with the name Cozza? Was that like a childhood name?
So sort of like it's a Australian nickname. So like when I was in middle school, like people just randomly started calling me Cozza. Like it was just, I don't know. It's like there's weird abbreviations for names. Like Lauren would be Loza, you know? So I just kind of like ran with it, and I was like, let me just use this, be fun to like brand myself that way.
Do people from like Australia or New Zealand ever recognize that your name means that, or are they like, are you Australian because of what your name?
Yeah, I've had a couple.
Even meeting you?
I've had a couple. I actually had a girl from New Zealand. Like I met her at Forest, and she she knew the name, and she like recognized that it was from there.
Wait,
so.
I love that.
Yeah,
and so when did you like brand yourself that?
That's a good question. Probably like a couple years ago. I think it was honestly after like COVID was when I really was like, okay, this is what I kind of want to run with. Yeah, because originally I had a nails business, and it was closed by Cozza. So
You had a nails business?
I did.
Like
yeah.
like acrylic or like
press-ons.
Yeah. Would you paint them yourself and then mail them?
That's what these are. I like used to have like a whole business doing it, and it was fun. Yeah.
Oh my god, wait, I love that. So you would just like do sets for people, or just for like your friends?
Yeah, just for people in general. A lot of girls in the rave scene. Like I was trying to make like EDM themed sets and stuff. So.
I love that.
Yeah.
I would love to do like lash extensions, but like really fun ones, like with the butterflies, or like little like owls for EDC.
I love that.
Or like trees for electric. Oh,
yes,
would love
slay.
that. But I would have to learn how to do that first. So that's like on the bucket list, you know?
Absolutely.
Well, welcome. Is this your first time at our like studio before?
It is, yeah.
How are you enjoying it?
I love it.
You
It's
do?
been a great day.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And so you specifically, I wasn't on set today, but what was your role today? Like why did you come out here?
Today I was shooting like a couple new collections that are coming out. So yeah, we just went and did a shoot like on location, you know, got a couple different vibes going, had a great time. So yeah, just out here to like capture the brand and, you know.
Exciting. And have you worked with us before?
I have. I've like worked with you guys at a couple festivals and whatnot, you know, doing what I do out there.
And what is it for the audience who has like not stumbled upon your amazing page before? What would you label yourself as?
I call myself a festival portrait photographer.
Love.
That's kind of that's what it boils down to. My passion is capturing people in the scene, doing what they love, you know, expressing themselves, dressing up however they want. That's what I'm passionate about. Yeah, that's what I love to chase.
Oh my God, I love that so much. And when so you specifically mentioned that you're a festival portrait photographer. What made you go to your first festival?
Good question. It was actually like the club scene that kind of got me into that, because when I was in college, I started like taking photography more seriously, because
Really?
I picked up a camera when I was in Australia, like when I was young. So I had always had like a little passion for it. A lot of my like art classes were focused in photography and stuff. And then when I came over here and I was in college, I just started like working for a bunch of different clubs like around campus. I went to Florida State, so there was a lot of those. They had like a pretty good EDM scene.
Oh, in Florida?
They did, yeah, in Tallahassee. Yeah, so they had a lot of DJs coming out there. Like, you know, I shot for people back in the day, like Boogie T, Chris Lake. They would come out there.
Okay, name drop. Fuck it up. I love that.
So that was like essentially what got me into it, was just being there, capturing it. And I was like, wait, this is where I'm meant to be.
So you mentioned like artist names. Does that mean that you also do like DJ or artist, or just like actually, because there's different types of photography within the scene.
Funnily enough, for years I had wanted to go to festivals like because of being in the club scene, but my parents were like very nervous about it. They were they were like, we don't know like how we feel about that. So I was like, well, maybe if I'm working one, it's different, you know, like I can I can actually go. I can justify it. So I was like, well, I'm going for work. So
stop. I literally would tell my parents that. I'm like, why are you going to the middle of Michigan? I'm like, for work.
That was me. I was going to the middle of Alabama to Sloss Music Festival the year before it shut down. And
which one?
It's called Sloss. It was like a really Sloss, SLOSS.
I've never heard of that.
It was such a random festival. It was like, they had a bunch of different people. They had like Louis the Child, like Vic Mensa, Hippie Sabotage.
Okay.
Yeah, good vibes.
Very good. Very
they
happy.
Had like some indie music as well. It was very eclectic all over the show. It was fun.
Oh, I love that. And so you started doing that type of photography. And then when you started like doing like festival portraits, like when did you start realizing you're like, I should like make this a business?
Yeah.
Like when did it click, you know?
I actually have a very specific moment.
I'm excited.
I was at Bonnaroo 2022. I had kind of just gotten back into doing festivals more because, with COVID and everything. So, I did the drive-in raves and whatnot, but then when festivals came back, like I did too. And then I was just really kind of trying to get into content creation again, trying to like just make it on my own somehow. And then I was at Bonnaroo. I was like in the crowd and I had this like moment of realization. It was crazy. I was just like, I'm supposed to like have a camera in my hand. And it was like really weird because at that point I hadn't had a camera in my hand for like 2 or 3 years. Cause I had,
really?
Yeah.
Did you have the equipment though? Like, or was it just like, I need to go home and buy this?
That was exactly what it was. Yeah. I went home and bought it. I was just, cause at that, like I had like an old DSLR, but I was like, this is like 5 years old. Like I need to upgrade and be with the times. So yeah, I basically just went home, got a camera financed and it just went for it. Yeah.
Wait. Okay. And is that the current camera that you shoot with, or have you slowly upgraded with?
Yeah,
okay, so that's your baby.
It is my baby. It is my baby.
I love that so much. And so, what would be like your favorite like festival like memory that you've captured before?
Oh, that's a good
or like
question.
Most memorable.
I think like a turning point for me was when it was one of the first festivals that I like started doing this. I had like the first time that I brought my camera back out to a festival, like when I restarted, was Odyssey in Tampa. It's like a little festival. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's very cute.
It's
like it's
very like
vibey.
Niche.
Yeah. And so I was there and I got a media pass, and then I think post that I think I might have had maybe like one festival in between that and then Imagine. And I was in Imagine 2022 with Bella Breeze.
Oh, love
her.
Love. Such an absolute fashion icon. Like to this day, I'm like, I'll be like, inspiration.
Yep. Love her. So, I had the pleasure of like getting to shoot her, and she was just wearing an iconic outfit. And I think it, I don't know, I just realized in that moment, like how much I don't know, I felt so moved. It was such a beautiful moment between us, I think, because like she was just like effortlessly flowing in front of the camera, and I felt like I was in my groove, and something kind of just like clicked for me, and those pictures turned out like exactly as I imagined they would. And I think that is kind of like what, it got some people like paying attention to me a little bit, being like, oh, like who's this girl, like what's she doing, like taking photos.
Do you remember like actually what we're gonna do post edit, we need to insert the photo. Do you have the photo?
I do have the photo.
Love.
Yeah, and it was the John Summit set at Bonnaroo. It was
really?
Yeah. It was just something about the vibes at that set that
is
were
it the
just
people,
like,
or is it like
it was the whole atmosphere at that set. It was just like a really amazing moment that I had. I was just like in the crowd, like he was just throwing bangers. Everybody was like dancing, you know, and I just like really felt it. And I was like, I just want to like capture this energy, you know, like and it wasn't even so much like, oh, I want to like capture the artist. It was like, I just want to capture the festival and the people.
Like the feeling.
Yeah.
Because people do
the feeling.
like,
feeling. That's a really, took the words out of my mouth. That's it.
Well, because it's true. Because like a lot of like based on like you can feel anything through like somebody's artwork, whether it be like photography or like actual paintings or like just anything in general where somebody is like creative, like showing their passion.
Yeah.
And so not only for like the person being photographed, photographed, but also like you yourself, you know, because like as like an artist, like how, like what type of vision do you try to, like who are your inspirations in regards to like being a creative?
That's a really good question. My biggest inspiration I can tell you right now is Annie Leibovitz.
I gotta follow. Write that down.
She is a very iconic photographer. Really? She used to work for like Rolling Stone. She works with like just everybody in Hollywood, like all the celebrities and stuff. But what she does, I think, differently to other photographers is she sets a scene. Like she sets a mood. She sets like her like photos. Just, I don't know, they evoke a lot of emotion, you know, and they're just different. I think you can look at a photo and you're like, that's Annie Leibovitz. And I think that's kind of what I've always like strived to have is like, I want someone to like look at a photo of mine and be like, that's Cozza's photo, you know, like, because it emits like a certain like energy and like feeling.
And would you say that's like through like how you take a photo, or would you say that's like through your editing style? Like what part of the process is like your favorite?
I think, funnily enough, I don't know, it's like, I would have said maybe like 6 months ago it was editing, but editing is a grueling process now because I'm doing a lot of photos. Yeah. I still love it because I think the editing process is special because you get to like see what you created, like, you know, and full HD screen in front of you, and you get to play with the colors, and, you know, I love that part of it. But I think, you know, that's why shooting at raves is special for me because it's different. Like I didn't find a lot of passion in photography like when I was in college by doing like family portraits and grad shoots and stuff like that. Like, you know, it was just to pay the bills and like, but I wasn't like super passionate about it. And so that's why shooting people at festivals is different for me. It's because I'm really passionate about it. I feel like, you know, it's just beautiful to kind of see people come alive in front of a camera and like see their own beauty and just get comfortable. Like when I have clients that like come back, you just see how much they like grow and their confidence grows. And it's just like, it's beautiful to see that. And that's like why I do that, is because I discovered myself through photography and like putting myself in front of a camera lens. And so I just kind of like want to provide that experience for other people. Yeah.
That's so freaking cool. Like I feel like so inspired right now, like already. I'm like, that is so sick. Do you also like ever like put yourself in front of the camera too?
I do.
Like self-portraits?
Yes.
Okay.
So I try to make a habit of it, like maybe do it like once a month, kind of almost.
The setup
like
is hard, right?
It is hard because it's like I'm taking the pictures myself, like using a button on my iPhone to like trigger my camera on my tripod.
But is the iPhone in the photo, or do you have to like?
Sometimes I edit it out. Sometimes I forget. Like if you really like look at some of my photos, you can definitely probably see it. But yeah, I just edit it out most of the time, and it's a process. But that's kind of, like I said, that's what got me into it. Is when I was in like high school, I would say, is when I, you know, Instagram started, and I was trying to take good pictures, and I was like, I stole my dad's DSLR. Eventually, he got me one, and I would just like take creative, weird pictures in my room or my bathroom. I would do just like wonky, weird stuff. And like, you know, nobody really got it necessarily, but like I did.
Like, this is a story.
Yeah.
Listen
I'm like,
to
this means something.
It means something. Look at this elf brush that's on the counter.
Exactly. So that's what like, and through that, like I found a lot of self-confidence because I've had a lot of body image issues my whole life. I have severe scoliosis. So.
Did you also have a back brace?
I did.
Me too.
Babe, oh my God, we connect on that so much.
Literally, like somebody commented on my TikTok the other day and they go, "What's wrong with her hip?" And then somebody goes, "Maybe
bullied off of TikTok." For the same reason.
Well, why don't go on Instagram? Because Instagram's like a lot worse. Sorry about it. You can argue with me if you want, but like I feel like, at least for me, TikTok is it's very rare I get mean stuff on TikTok, but the only comments I ever get that are really rude are like, "What's wrong with your back?" And I'm like,
see, it's the opposite with me. It's the opposite. I never get, like, I haven't had comments on my Instagram, but TikTok be calling me out. I'm like, that's
what a weird experience for us.
Right? Wanted to take pictures, I think, like, of other people because I took pictures of myself and found confidence through that. So, you know, I would just get in front of the camera frequently. And then I've been on and off it throughout the years, you know, with content. I've had periods where I'm really motivated and I really, you know, feel compelled and inspired to take pictures of myself. And, you know, then I have bad months and I'm like, oh, like, I don't, am I going to live up to the standards, expectations? But at the end of the day, it has, you know, hugely shaped like who I am, and it has like, you know, even though I have this body dysmorphia, you know, granted because I'm wonky.
I say I'm a curvy girl. Not really, but like I have scoliosis. It's an S shape back. Leave me alone. So you just start like doing that's very inspiring.
My boyfriend says I'm wonky, like my personality. He said it's very cute, and I was like, I'll take that.
I love that. So what would be then, like, as like a photographer, what would be your major tip to other photographers who like want to get into the scene? Like what would you say would be like a good breakthrough way to like help other artists like kind of enter like this new realm of, you know, festival photography?
Yeah, I think a few things. I think first it's, you know, you're going to have to do, unfortunately, it's just kind of how it is, like in photography in general, do a little pro bono stuff just to kind of get your name out there, get the exposure, get the recognition. Yeah. Because, you know, if you do something for a brand and they like what you do, then they might hire you and, you know, pay you for the next gigs. So, I mean, it's a struggle. I still try to practice this myself, you know, like sometimes doing something for free then leads to something amazing. So it's tricky though. You got to pick and choose your opportunities and not get taken advantage of, because that's something I've also dealt with a lot. And so, you know, you got to be careful, you know, what kind of opportunities you go for. But I think just, putting yourself out there, going to as many shows as you can. I think a lot of people try to start by like going to festivals, but if a lot of people are trying to get into these festivals and applying for media passes by just going to shows locally and, you know, getting in with clubs around your area, like, you know, venues, just anything, local DJs, and just getting your name out there, because one thing will lead to the next, you know, and it's like next thing you know, you have like a slightly bigger event in your area or like a couple hours away and you can shoot a couple artists, and then it just continues to like grow exponentially. So I think it's a grind. It's a grind for sure. You got to be passionate and your heart's got to be in it. You know, it's a lot more demanding than people think it is, you know, turnaround times for artists and everything, but it's worth it if you love it. And that's what it is for me, you know? So
turnaround time for artists, do you mean like the expectation as a like photographer to bring your photos back to an artist? Yeah. So the typical expectation for artists is like a 24-hour turnaround time. So, you know, with edits. So then I got a question after that. Okay, I'm listening. So that's a huge reason why I just like working for people in the scene, because I like more time to be creative and experiment with my edits and stuff. That makes a lot of sense. And also, just to reiterate another point, is you were saying that the more that you do, or you say that you hustle, it's like more practice too. Yeah, like the more that you practice and the more that like you get better at the one thing that you're passionate about, the easier it gets, because like, and more efficient you become, because like you might like take like 1,000 photos, but you're like only 300 of them are like somewhat okay, but like in a year you might take 300 photos and all 295 of them are like killer. Exactly. So that's, I mean, I don't know what the ratios are like. I don't know. I actually am not really sure. But that's really interesting. Example. You bring up that point. Would you say that they're like, what would be like, as a like female photographer in the scene, what would be like the biggest obstacle that you currently face? Like, are there any? Yeah, I mean, there's a couple. I think just having respect kind of as an artist, you know, we're a minority, females in media. It's a very, very male-dominated industry. So I think, you know, it's hard to get taken seriously sometimes, you know, and to be taken seriously for our art. It's hard to be seen sometimes, you know, so I think that's something that's been a little bit difficult to overcome, you know, is just trying to like get
more connections and get my work out there more. It's difficult, but I think to me it's an advantage, you know, because I feel like being a female, it's an advantage in the scene because it's like I just have like a more like feminine like eye for photography. So it's like, you know, I want women to feel like confident and sexy in front of the camera. And I feel like, you know, I'm able to kind of like guide them towards that. And more than anything, create a safe space.
That's so accurate. That's so beyond accurate.
Like, I mean, because when I was even growing up and I wanted to kind of expand my horizons and get in front of other people's cameras, I would, you know, have male photographers like seek after me, and a lot of them had ill intentions. You know, I have stories, I have friend stories, and it's just, it's sad, but it's true that, you know, a lot of male photographers aren't in it for the right reasons. But so, you know, I think it's important for females to really flourish and exist in this space and create a safe space for everyone, you know?
What would you like recommend then as like a female artist in the industry? What would you recommend to kind of like protect their peace or to like make sure that, you know, everything is like what would you recommend?
I think just working with people that you like know or mutually know, you know, it's just important to trust like your friends' judgments and whatnot. So I think that's important is working with someone you know, not like a stranger from the internet, you know. I mean, it's weird because it's like I am in a way a stranger from the internet to a lot of these people, but it's like, you know, their friend might have done a shoot with me or something, so they know kind of me. So it's different, you know. People know that I'm real, I'm here, I exist. So yeah, I think that would be my best advice. And, you know, never be afraid to like reach out to other photographers and be like, hey, have you worked with this person before? You know, like, you know, if there's someone you want to work with and you're like iffy about it, you know, maybe reach out to another photographer and be like, do you know of this person? Or, you know, or one of their clients, go to their tagged photos, you know.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense. For you, what would you say that like, because you've been doing this since 2022, so like professionally, is this your full-time, I should have asked that in the beginning. Is this your full-time job?
It is. It is my full-time job.
That's fucking awesome.
Thank you.
That's fucking baller.
Thank
that's like
you, babe.
G, like shit. Like that's,
Thank you.
as Mike would say, that's G shit. Our boss.
Yep.
That is fucking sick, dude.
Thank you,
so
babe.
when did you when did you say, I'm going full time? Like,
it was pretty shortly after I picked up a camera again. So like, as you know, I got a camera right after Bonnaroo, and I was working like at a little pizza joint in Miami.
It's always the food industry.
I know, girl. It's always the food industry.
I just threw away my non-slips literally like a month ago when I got hired here full time, and I was like, bye. And I was like, I cannot go back. I cannot go back.
No, that's where I'm
fuckers
at.
away.
Never. Yeah, I completely understand. So yeah, I was working there and then went to Okeechobee. Yep, I went to Okeechobee and 2023, right? Or
That was last year?
Wait, was it? Yeah, I guess it was because Okeechobee's not happening this year. Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's so many festivals.
And so I know that for us, you're shooting Beyond this weekend.
I am.
SoCal. As like a person who I've only purchased like a photographer once before, because I was like, okay, this is like the first time I'm making my outfit. This is like my first time doing this. I was like, I'm so freaking nervous. I would literally beforehand, like no one could talk to me. I was shaking. I was so nervous because I had never invested. I had only had like opportunities to work with like management companies that were like, oh, we have a photographer. I'm like, oh, slay.
Yes.
But it was my first time actually investing, and they of course always turned out like amazing.
Yeah.
But what would you say is, because I was like, with my aunt in the car in Chicago, I was like, 7 p.m. or like 4 p.m. And she's like, well, the sun is going to be facing, like, what would be an ideal time to shoot? Because you say during the day, but like would sundown? Because obviously, like, I know that 12 p.m. is like a really bad time to shoot, right?
Correct.
Right? Okay.
Correct.
Because the sun's like down, and you want more like angle, right?
Correct. Yep.
What would you say like is a good time?
Golden hour. So golden hour is usually like the hour before sunset.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the best time.
Love that. Oh, I love that so much. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm gonna ask you if I have any other questions. we've been bussing through them.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, this one. Okay, so this is the one I was asking earlier, but when you do collaborate with like organizations like us, like DJs, artists, other clients, obviously you have an artistic style. How do you make sure that when you work with somebody else that you create like a cohesive experience? What do you do? Like, how do you collaborate? You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I love to communicate, bounce ideas off of one another. You know, I usually only go for brands that I think that I can actually like, you know, do their vision justice. You know, if I see a brand and it's not really like my vibe and I'm not going to bring like a lot of passion to the brand, then I'm just not going to go there, you know? So if it's a brand that I connect with, I find it easier to do that and to like really like bring the vision to life.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
What would you say like is like a key factor in like your vision?
I think, that's a good question. So I'm weirdly enough, like I would love to create like a kind of like a crossover between like high fashion and festival fashion. Cause when I was in college, I was very into editorials and,
Fun.
Shooting more high fashion stuff, more styled shoots, really well planned and thought out, content.
Yeah.
So that's what I try to bring to the rave scene. I want to like, even though we only have 15 minutes, like I want to create like a vision and a setting and a scene. And I want the photos to be like editorial, like they were in a magazine. So yeah.
Do you have a favorite magazine?
Vogue.
Vogue. I love a Vogue magazine. Do you have a favorite like edition or like do you remember seeing an artist on there and being like, they ate it up? Like that
Annie Leibovitz.
Which is the artist you had mentioned earlier. And was that because not the person, it was the person who shot it? Was it the Rolling Stone?
No, it was something in Vogue. I can't even, actually it was her Alice in Wonderland photo shoot. Yeah.
Really?
And I'm positive that was in Vogue. Yeah. She did this insane, I have a weird obsession with Alice in Wonderland. That's why
Beyond is your...
That's why I'm here. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love... Wait, did you like... Are you still in Florida?
Florida. Yeah, I'm still in Florida.
You had a long ass flight.
Yeah.
Did you have a layover?
I didn't. I got it direct.
Love.
Thank you, Delta.
Oh, come on, Delta. I've never done a layover.
I hate them.
I've never done it because I'm so scared they're going to lose my stuff. And when I go to a festival, I'm like, if you lose my demonias, I will cry. Yeah. Because those are my children. Like, you can't lose my children. Like, that's why I've never done a layover, and
I've had that. I had that happen.
You have?
Yeah,
where?
Vegas, EDC Vegas last year.
No. Did you have like all of your equipment on you?
I fortunately, because
you have to fly with that, right? Because they'll be like, oh,
I don't let go of my baby.
Okay.
Yeah, I can take that on the plane in my carry-on. So I take her with me because I'm not letting her out of my sight.
Did you get anything back from EDC?
Fortunately, my suitcase ended up showing up, but it was a whole
because it always is.
It always is.
It's never easy once you find it. They're like, and then you have to go through 8,000 steps to make sure it's really yours.
Yep.
Oh, damn. And so that was last year. What festivals do you have lined up this year?
I have quite a few. I have obviously Beyond this weekend. And then I think next I have Soulfest.
That's going to be such a fun one.
Such a fun vibe. I loved it last year.
Where is it
I had a really great time. It's in North Florida now. It was in Alabama last year.
It was in Alabama last year?
Yeah, it was in like the middle of nowhere.
It's always in the middle of nowhere.
It really was, yeah.
Like, have you heard of, I don't know if Macy told you, but like Texas Eclipse?
Yes.
Where's this? I saw the map and I went, am I running a mile? Like what? I'm not even going, but I'm like, that is a huge map. Also, where did this festival? Texas.
Right?
It's always in the middle of nowhere. And I've also learned that the middle of the nowhere, like in the country.
They're the
like,
best ones.
The best ones.
They really are. They really are.
I'm like, I have to fly.
They make it so difficult.
They do. They really do. And then you have to rent the car and drive another 4 hours.
And then the hotel is like, if you're not camping, it's like an hour away from the venue, usually,
Would you prefer, so I'm guessing that you probably prefer to use a hotel than camp because of your equipment.
Exactly. Yeah.
The elements.
Okay,
got it.
It's a bit too much, if it were to rain or anything.
Or heat
even. I had my camera overheat multiple times, like sitting in the car, just like overnight camping. I had to like send it in for a month because of that one time to get it fixed. So it's just, it's a lot of elements. Yeah. It's just like a lot can kind of go wrong. So it's like with the hotel, I'm being safe and smart. I have electricity. I have a bed to go home to, especially, without bags. Like
a nice little shower that you don't have to pay $15 for.
Exactly. In a warm bed. Yeah.
Okay. So Beyond Soulfest.
Beyond Soulfest, EDC Vegas.
EDC Vegas, love.
Electric Forest.
I'll be there. Bitch, I'm gonna book you.
Yes, please. Bass Canyon.
Bass Canyon.
I loved that last year.
Really?
That was, I loved that.
How was the hill?
That's literally why I want to go back. It's everything.
Really?
You can my favorite thing is just to sit down and vibe at festivals. I'm such a sit down girl, Do you have
the couch?
I do.
Me too.
I do. But at like Bass Canyon, because of the hill, you can just lay. You can just lay on your lunchbox or a pash or something, and you can lay in, because the hill's like this. You're just your eyeballs are parallel to the stage. Oh. So you're just laying there as you would be at home, laying in your bed watching a set, but you're there. It's it's amazing. Yeah.
Oh my god, you get one of those sleeping mats, maybe a nice cozy blanket, bring a squishmallow.
Yup.
Exactly. Also, another thing, the fucking squishmallow you came in with. I'm like, this girl is literally twinning. I know. I'm so excited. Keep in mind, camera, we did not plan this. She walked into the office and Caitlin goes, I'm literally not even facing Courtney, and she goes, you have a twin? And I went, bitch. I was so fucking excited.
She's like, one of us will have to change. I'm like, no, we don't.
No, not at all. The little Spider-Man meme.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so Bass Canyon. Anything after that?
Lost Lands.
So excited. Have you done Lost Lands before?
I did Lost Lands for the first time last year.
Really?
And that was amazing.
Life-changing?
It was amazing. Yeah, it was life-changing. It was great. I definitely had a rough time just because I was deathly ill the whole time.
I remember seeing that on your story.
Yeah, I had
you had clients, right? And you were like, what do I do?
I had to show up, that's
what did you have?
That's my living on the line. So I think I just had a really, really awful flu. I got sick. I picked something up at Imagine, got home, got settled, and then it was literally the day before I left for Lost Lands, I woke up just feeling like a 2 out of 10, and I was like, I gotta go. So it was rough, but I made it through. It was worth it. It was worth the pictures and the experience.
Are there any upcoming projects or ambitions you'd like to share with our listeners?
Ooh, a few, I guess.
A few? Like what?
A few things. So the first, probably DJing. That's just fun for me. That's just a lot of fun. I got some decks after EDC Orlando last year.
Yeah.
Because I was at afters with all my friends, and it's 3 a.m. I'm like, let me get on the deck. Let me try it out. And I had my friend kind of showing me, and I was just like, I'm kind of picking up what you're putting down. This is fun.
Yeah.
And so I just full sent it, got some decks. So I just want to start playing for fun, just for my friends, renegade vibes.
Yeah.
So doing that, it's just see where it takes me type deal. I'm that's why I'm here, for the music. You know, that's why I'm at festivals at the end of the day. The photos, obviously, of course.
Pay the bills, but
but I mean, I'm passionate about it as well, but I'm also hugely passionate about music. So
what genre?
I love house. Okay. I love a little bit of everything. I still love my wubs, on my bass. I love res, Subtronics, all that, little techno. But I am definitely a house girly at heart.
Through and through.
I just love the vibes. I used to shuffle, so I just have a different connection with house music, and I feel like that's kind of where my passion for the scene grew from, was house music. Yeah.
And then what would be your top artist then? You can do former or new.
It's a controversial opinion, but John Summit.
I've been listening to Shiver every day.
It is amazing, and
it's really good. It's really good, and I'm a bass head. I'm like, you make me shiver, and I feel it now. And I even FaceTimed my friend the other day, and I was like, you're gonna hate me. She goes, what? And I go, I'm a John Summit stan, and she's like, finally, fucking bitch. She's like, what took you so long? I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, people are divided on it, but
seems like a fun time.
I've hung out with him, and he
slay.
is a very nice person.
Yeah.
He's a very nice human. He is incredibly talented.
Oh, yeah.
His best sets are the ones that don't get captured. Like his Halloween set last year was fucking insane.
Really?
It was insane. And like, you know, nobody really knows about it. It was such a small, it was really quite a small crowd. Like,
Yeah.
you know, Halloween just brings a smaller crowd in general.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like one of his massive like EDC sets or
Yeah.
anything, but it was just banger after banger.
It's probably
such
off the
vibes.
noggin too.
Yeah.
You know, more because I feel like any like after sets that artists do. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
They're just like, I'm gonna fuck around, and they start throwing in like random whips and VIPs that
Yes.
are unreleased, and you're like,
So
This
good.
couldn't compute,
That's why I
like-
respect the hell out of him, is because he like, you know, he switches it up. You
Yeah.
know, he throws in some bass and
Yeah.
like some wubs, and like he keeps sets interesting.
yeah,
I like that. You know,
a
I like that
multi-genre
lot.
fest. or
Yeah.
set.
Yeah. That's like what I want to do. Like, you know, have a little bit of everything, different vibes for everyone.
Love.
Yeah.
And then where can we find you on all platforms?
On
Are you-
all platforms.
Are you on TikTok still?
I am still on TikTok. I'm not very active.
So where are you most active?
Most
Where can we-
active on Instagram.
Most active on-
on Instagram at Call Me Cozza. That's my personal page, or
Slay.
at Cosmedia.
Cosmedia. Okay, you got
my
two different pages.
Photography page.
Slay,
Yeah.
and we'll put that.
Where I put all the rave baddies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any closing out statements that you want to share? Anything that you got going on? Just like any words of wisdom? Any favorite quotes?
Words of wisdom. Let me think. I'm gonna just.
Wear your back brace. Wait until your growth plates are fully closed up, and then you can get it taken off.
Words of wisdom. Just fucking go for it with anything. Like, if you don't do it tomorrow, you never will. Like, type deal. Just, you know, just take the leap. Even when it's scary, if there's something that you want to do, just start now. It doesn't have to be this like big thing, you know, like even if there's something you want to do, like put 5-10 minutes aside for it tomorrow. Like, if there's anything I've learned in life, it's that you can wake up and change your life tomorrow, and you can make it exactly how you want to be. It's going to take time. It's going to take patience. It's going to be uncomfortable, but it's worth it. You know, it's worth being able to go after what you're passionate about. I mean, that's what life is all about, you know, doing what you love.
Change your mind, change your life.
Period.
Love that. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Courtney.
Thank you, babe. This is amazing.
And I
did
mean,
it.
you know what I know more. That was so